spoke about that matchup between Brazil and Argentina on the locker room as well. We heard play
own net when Brazil tends to have
as well. We heard play
own net when Brazil tends to have a good goalkeeper. Good things in number 1 jersey. And Allison to. And now the pomp, the circumstance. The ceremony. The FIFA anthem. Felix Brick. The referee, Mark Borsch, Stefan Lup running the lines, Marco Fritz. Not mean he is without controversy here today, even in what is a friendly tournament during this international window. Whenever Brazil and Argentina go head-to-head, things get magnified. So it will not be easy today for this German crew.
We'll need to have the cards on hand. Quick access to the cards, because we might see a lot of them in this matchup. It's always very bitter. Strong rivalry between Brazil and Argentina. Looking forward to seeing how Argentina play in their toughest test without Messi after the World Cup.
Now, before we get underway, the national anthems, Brazil and Argentina. Brazil's global tour continues for Tite, and some changes in the starting lineup, including maybe even the look of the field. Looks like he's going to start alongside Miranda, Arthur, and Coutinho.
Changes from that side that beat Saudi Arabia, so we'll see what happens there. Looking forward to seeing that exchange between Firmino and Gabi Jesus. And then for Argentina, only 4 players starting in this lineup that played in the 4-0 victory versus Iraq. Paulo Dybala, all eyes on him, but look out for Angel Correa. He has been magnificent for Atletico Madrid. We'll see how that works out. Correa they have on the left, Dybala on the right. We're used to seeing Correa on the right when he plays for Atletico Madrid, so we'll see how that adjustment takes place. And of course, a lot of people want Icardi in the starting 11. They finally got it.
Well, you take a look at this complex. There's a pizza joint, burger restaurant, even a Baskin-Robbins, and there's more than 30 wonderful flavors on display here today for these two sides.
And fella, I have to say, I'm not Brazilian or Argentine, but hearing both of those national anthems had me shivers down my spine. It was a great moment. Looking forward to this matchup. It's going to be very exciting.
Leonardo Tite, better known as legend at Corinthians. In fact, just the fact growing up in Rio Grande do Sul that he would manage both Grêmio and Inter gives you an idea of the respect that he has. And on the Argentine side, Lionel Scaloni, the 40-year-old, gives you an idea, came up around the same time as Lionel Messi out of Newell's Old Boys, but while Scaloni joined Newell's as a pro around that same year, Lionel Messi was moving on to Barcelona to join La Masia and start his legendary career. Would not be surprised if part of the decision behind Scaloni stepping in as the interim boss was to try and keep those ties to Messi open. He's been joined by Pablo Aimar and Walter Samuel, 2 of the legends of Argentina's past, as they work on their future. The Albiceleste from right to left. Live from the King Abdullah Sports City Stadium. Again, 89 degrees, 62% humidity. Five-time world champions wearing the canary yellow and blue. Defending the goal to the left, and Felipe Luis with a nice bit. Already making a lot of noise when Argentina and Brazil.
Seen a couple of great touches early on in this match. Neymar with a smooth touch, Felipe Luis with a great little touch to get himself into a little bit of space. Both of these teams have magnificent footballers who are brilliant with the ball at their feet. And you mentioned the assistant coaches for Argentina. Pablo Aimar, a great attacking player going forward. Walter Samuel, a legendary defender for Inter. So you have a couple of experienced players on the bench for Argentina.
unexpected foe, giving both managers the chance to shake things up a bit. Paredes and Battaglia, which one is going to stay back? Does Paredes push up? What does that do for Dybala? Does he play him company? So many questions for Argentina, and again for Brazil, very similar. Gabriel Jesus and Roberto Firmino on the field at the same time.
That is unusual, because basically during the World Cup, it was Firmino who was substituting for Gabi Jesus at the center forward role. Now they're putting them both together, so that's something to watch, how those two work together. But Gabi Jesus out wide is unusual.
Under pressure, Neymar gets flipped into touch, and the whistle blows. It'll be a free kick for Brazil. Then you have Philippe Coutinho, who tends to play up front, except when Neymar's around. And when he does, Arthur tends to slot into the midfield. Now all three of them are out on the field at the same time. And it looks as though Arthur playing back alongside Casemiro. So maybe a bit of a 4-2-4.
Yeah.
Going back to Brazil's Pelé-like roots.
And the big thing for Brazil, if they're going to play, if that's how it's going to morph, then they have to, first of all, they have to get the ball out of the defensive third here and maintain the possession. We saw Argentina with a little bit of possession. Neymar in the space, but also he has to play with his teammates here.
Danilo gets the start here today. There's Gabriel Jesus running into Nicolas Tagliafico. The Ajax left back has been even wearing the captain's armband, but today passing that responsibility off. Felix Quick calls the foul as Neymar taken down in the midfield, and Paredes getting a talking to.
Yeah, he definitely clipped Neymar there. That's part of the rivalry. Getting physical. See Neymar dropping back, obviously because of who he is. He has that liberty to go where he wants to go on the pitch. And it's looking like Argentina right now, they have to foul him in order to stop him, but
Neymar just 26, his 94th cap, which moves him in to a 10th place tie with Gilmar dos Santos, Timao and Santos back with 3 World Cups, and at least for a while the best goalkeeper Brazil had ever produced. Alisson and Ederson trying to put that in the past as well. Perhaps even more historically, Neymar continuing his climb up the scoring charts as we look at Scaloni. Neymar now with 59 goals, just 3 back of Ronaldo, and 18 back of Pelé, and at 26, probably a lot of goals still to come. A push in the midfield. This time, the foul going Battaglia's way. Free kick in the center circle for the Albiceleste.
And for Argentina, we've seen Brazil, Neymar getting a lot of touches. He's obviously going to be the one that the offense, the attack will flow through. For Argentina, who will that be? Of course, Argentina, they've had their fair share of great number 10s. No Messi, so expect them to, I would suspect, get Correa and Dybala more involved with touches out wide.
Fico, one touch, top of the 18, thied away, blasted low, charging in Lo Celso. Casemiro a little casual with the clearance, and Argentina almost makes him pay.
And Giovanni Lo Celso, unmarked, able to get into a little bit of space, good ball out wide. Otamendi able to find Tagliafico making that deep run, and Lo Celso, we've seen him bury these shots for Argentina and for PSG. He's on loan to Real Betis. He knows that he could have done better, but still good for Argentina going forward. They've been able to find that little bit of space in the middle. That's something that's got to tighten up. You wonder where Casemiro was on that play.
Well, this is a bit of a concern. Of course, then again, in the modern game, maybe just giving the kit manufacturers a little more TV time. But keep an eye on Neymar, because if he does, this is a friendly in this international window, but this is also a great test for both sides. Looking ahead to next year's Copa America, Chile have won 2 in a row if you count the Centenario, and Brazil as hosts, well, you know, they're going to want to try and
experience on their home soil in recent history. Obviously, disappointing end to the 2014 World Cup. They got the gold medal in the Olympics,
which was the one.
Now next year, they'll want to win that, kind of secure their place as the best team in South America. Chile obviously has that crown right now. But it'll be
far flank Saravia playing with Racing, who under the Super League.
বেশিরভাগ এতে খেলা দেখা যাইতে না, শুধু একদিনই হেদিন খেলাটা মজা হয় একদম
right now thanks to Saravia. Here he is
like when some
1 মিনিটও বাজে না, মেইন করলে এটা হইতেছে না, আর এটা গোল বেশি,
এটা
গোল বেশি।
Paoli was the manager. Every time Martinez played for Racing, he would score a hat-trick in front of Sao Paoli.
Romero in goal today from Racing, a cradle of goalkeepers. Long ball forward looking for Icardi. Marquinhos tries to clear. Touched back, Correa scrambling, and back comes Arthur to sweep things away. Now on the break, Coutinho. Neymar slips it in.
Certainly a key player for Liverpool when they made that run to the Champions League final. Roberto Firmino breaking onto the scene in terms of he's turned it to a situation where now he's a regular caller for Brazil. So
again, it's one of those where he doesn't look imposing. It's not really until after the fact where you realize what role he plays, and sometimes that could be with a little flick, a little touch, and sometimes a run where he never touches the ball. Firmino, that complete forward, well, maybe everywhere but scoring. Just 8 goals in his 26, which is one area where Gabriel, he did not play Firmino enough, and if he had, it might have been a different ending to the World Cup for Brazil.
Yeah, you mentioned he's not a prolific goal scorer. It wasn't at Hoffenheim. He has his good share of goals at Liverpool, but it's his presence on the pitch, what he does, his movement off the ball, his ability to connect and make those right passes. And as you said, even when he's not involved in the play, his positioning just helps the team look more dangerous in attack. Roberto Firmino, those are the kind of players where the numbers don't prove how valuable he is. And I know for a lot of Brazil fans, they were screaming for Firmino after Gabi Jesus just wasn't that effective in the World Cup. Let's see if in 2019 at the Copa America that makes a difference if he plays Firmino more. I'm sure Chichi, who's a very intelligent coach, is going to make that adjustment.
Nodded down, intercepted before Coutinho could bring it in, cleared back to the 34-year-old João Miranda. You kind of sense that Copa is going to be his swan song.
Yeah.
A late bloomer, but already up to over 50 caps. Neymar to the inside, eludes Saravia, top of the box, tries to poke it 3. Otamendi with the touch.
You see the value of Firmino there. Firmino saw that Neymar was cutting inside to the middle, so he floated out wide to the left. That allowed Felipe Coutinho to go through the middle, and Neymar couldn't get that ball through, filtered through to Coutinho. But Firmino's movement off the ball was crucial there.
Hard hit, Gabriel Jesus colliding again with Tagliafico.
Well, Tagliafico, the message is sent. That's the second time he's had a pretty physical tackle or encounter with Gabi Jesus out there on the left.
Maybe Neymar with a crew cut gets away with that because it wasn't much more than a hair if it was offside.
Very close.
I kind of have a feeling also Tagliafico, after those 2 collisions, the next one might be a card.
Yeah.
Approaching the quarter-hour mark. Brazil in the yellow, Argentina in the sky blue and white. Just one shot combined between them so far as they feel out this match.
Yeah, still getting bogged down in the middle, in the midfield.
Neymar across the 6, touched away just before Marquinhos, and it was Icardi doing the defensive work.
Mauro Icardi is a player that a lot of Argentine fans have been wanting for a while. You don't have to go back and relive the drama of why he hasn't been called up recently, but now with Higuain possibly on the way out, Kun Agüero not called in, it's going to be Icardi's time to shine.
Neymar, the header up and over. Like Miranda may be getting the touch. Well, what we can touch on with Icardi is that there has been the thought that it was Lionel Messi's presence and desire that has kept him on the sideline. Messi has come out publicly and said that's not the case, but
he has to say that. He has to say that, yeah.
And there's really only been, if I recall, one match where the two were on the field together.
It's been a struggle for Icardi to find the back of the net.
Down goes Arthur off that little give and go. Still without Messi today. That does also handle another bit of controversy. Many believe that Dybala and Messi cannot play together because, well, I guess to put it simply, they are the same player. They occupy the same spaces, but without Messi, maybe a chance for Dybala to shine.
I think it's a shame because you would figure too.
Edge of the 18, slammed in, Otamendi, ball knocked free. Arthur actually could. Coutinho rolling it back. Here's Danilo, but just too tall.
Well, you would figure that Messi and Dybala, intelligent footballers, could get together and figure out how they can make Argentina better, and then both of them sacrifice a little bit for the benefit of the shirt. They haven't been able to do that. There's some egos involved there as well, and it's a shame because if both of them could find a way to work together. Both of them are smart enough. I mean, they could make Argentina unstoppable. Messi and Dybala, it would be amazing. Maybe they still have time to figure it out and iron out if they have any differences, but I think those of us that are football fans, we're being robbed of two great players playing together and some beautiful football that they could generate.
Yeah, whereas Bali never really had the chance to work that through, jumping in midstream.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder what would have happened if he would have had a full cycle, but was not meant to be. For whatever import it might have, notice Dybala actually going all the way over to the left here today. As you pointed out, Correa a lot more comfortable on that right side. And maybe a little bit of matching up as well. Almost looks like a... Out wide for Gabriel Jesus. Argentina handles it well. Now Batalla.
Figo right now, one-on-one against Gabi Jesus, and he is controlling and dominating that matchup.
Nice run, Lo Celso. Miranda over, poked forward with backspin in the area. Casemiro with what looked to be a push. Down goes Correa. Felix Brick with a good view, says no penalty.
That one is close. It looked like Casemiro may have extended that right arm and pushed Correa in the back. Bring down the Atletico Madrid man, little mini Madrid derby there between the Real midfielder and the...
Still off. And again, it's just a friendly, so no video review. Down goes Neymar. Again, drawing the attention against the Zenit St. Petersburg midfielder.
See, not at first.
কিরে লাল কার্ড মারেন না
না আস্তে করে দাঁড়া হইল গো
Definitely gets into the back.
To the edge of the area.
And that particular play was good defending by Tagliafico.
আচ্ছা সুন্দর
And a bit of a breather for Correa. Sarabia.
তোড়
Given away. Felipe Luis, early ball in for Firmino. Second header. Grabbed by
3 Brazilian attackers in that play. 5 Argentine defenders.
আবার ঠিক চলিয়ে দাঁড়া কথা কইলে মনে
In the area, getting the numbers back and making sure that they keep themselves organized defensively. Well done by Argentina.
Neymar. Dodging the blades on that far side. Coutinho forward for Firmino. Looked to be a push. Referee says no. Here's Paredes just pirouetting away. Dybala back.
About Dybala playing out wide on the left is that he's a predominantly left-footed player. That's his stronger foot, so get him blazing down the left side. He could send in the crosses, even cut back in, and then take shot with his right foot. So put him out there on the left side with his.
It's a beauty. The Super Classico, they are calling it, and of course El Clasico, not that far away.
A couple of players on the
Super Classico. Well, this is a super matchup, arguably the best wide. Sarabia into Felipe Luis, brought down Correa. Paredes, the ex-Boca boy, into the center. Natalia
to the right side quickly enough.
As the ball comes to this near side. And he is a force of nature. So much of it he does just with his presence. There's a lot of football intelligence there, but it's his lead. But not the World Cup, at least not yet.
Also,
Alisson.
Argentina?
আয়ো
আর এটা আগে চাই এটা
this is a criticism of modern goalkeepers. They're going to take that touch away from the keeper. Maybe he's Correa could
কিটা কইতাম
বাঙালি নম্বরে 17 দিয়ে দিলাম
কার
আর
তোটা বন্ধ
Get into the net. Now under pressure, Battaglia dispossessed for Brazil about 40 yards out.
You have to see Arthur and Felipe Coutinho. They have to be trying to create something in attack. Coutinho and Arthur are very good players going forward.
Line at the top of the 18, delivered back post, just over Casemiro. Carries, but they're going to call the Real Madrid midfielder for a push and a free kick.
हाँ रूमी भाई वो खेला तो लाइव है साइड पे
For Argentina in their own box.
Casemiro is one of the best. He goes out for Brazil. I know Brazil is deep, but there is something unique about Casemiro. He's got to be careful. I think he got away with a penalty earlier on Angel Correa. To Atleti midfielders, Atleti teammates, I should say.
Number tower ko. Hello.
Felipe Luis and Correa. Arthur and Felipe Coutinho have.
With Romario, you had the likes of Bebeto.
Yep.
Current তোর মনে বেশি
Championship team, World Championship team also had Cafu and Roberto Carlos as your bigger than one player.
Of course, then again, you look at Argentina, and that's also been the debate because as it's launched in by Paredes to the back post, there were times where Maradona did carry Argentina single-handedly. Now, by 94, the likes of Caniggia, Batistuta and stuff, but in 1990, if it weren't for Maradona, they might have been knocked out in the group stage. Instead, they almost won the whole thing.
Yeah, and they won it in '86.
And that's what Messi is competing against.
And it's unfair to Messi. Obviously, it's a different era. But Argentine fans and the people of Argentina, they don't care what Messi did for Barcelona. This touch right here. And Neymar, there was another. They don't care what he does with Barcelona. They care about what he does. In that the national team. So Messi has still some work to do.
Cruz takes a hit in the back. Pele.
হাজার লোকে খেলা শেয়ার করছে ঠিক না জানা যে বাংলাদেশ কোন চ্যানেলে এটা দেয় একজন দিয়ে দেন না টিএম বেশি লাগে মানে না চ্যানেল সত্যি নেই
Recognized as one of, so even when you are the best.
Either
11 goals and 23 caps. And you figure the best is yet to come.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Trying to find a compatriot. Ball sails in. Blasted by Miranda. Knotted down.
Oh, well done.
গোল দিয়া লাগা
রোমেরো না গোলি
রোমেরো দিনে
দূরও তোরটা ছাইতেন না শুধু আটকে কেন আছেন
চিজের মধ্যে সব লাগা চলেছে
There by Otamendi getting on the line as quickly as possible. And then
Past Romero, but not past Otamendi.
লিন্ডা হারাইলিস
আরে মানুষ অনলাইনের মেসেজের মতো না
মেসেঞ্জার অফ করো
সব অফ করছি
Driven low, but wide.
to defend and back up his goalkeeper.
Who said City and United? You kind of pointed out the touch from Miranda. That's a center back.
It's like
He draws the foul.
it's like a hierarchy in Brazilian football when you're a kid growing up. The kids that have the better touch, they go to the top of the formation. If you have decent touch, but you're not as good as everyone else, they drop you to the back line. So you're a Brazilian defender, you probably still have an excellent first touch.
Scaloni talking with Marco Fritz, the fourth official here today. Not exactly sure what he's complaining about.
Yeah.
Maybe some of these fouls from distance, thinking Brazil being a bit chippy. At the moment, only 4 fouls against Brazil, 8 against Argentina. Here is Paulo Dybala. No Messi. Dybala with a talented left boot.
Scored from this distance with Juve before.
30 yards out, near corner, just whistles wide. Allison might have had it covered.
And there's a reason why they call that man La Joya, because in these situations he can strike them. Look at very close. I don't think Allison would have been able to keep that out. That was a kick.
The breeze of the ball rippling the net, but on the wrong side of the post.
These two teams.
I hate Yadawala Silicon. Maldara to a hidden.
I don't think they have to light bundles.
Arena. Yes, MB no.
Just loaded with talent. Neymar, Coutinho, Gabi Jesus as well. I think that's another aspect of this rivalry. Make it fun to watch.
Looks like because of the temperature, there will.
Kira খেলা কি বিরতি না পানি খানা বিরতি লাগে
মনে হয় পানি ওই যে পানি খানা বিরতি তো যে গরম হয় সুইজার পানি খানা বিরতি তো
কারণ গেছি গা
At the O2 Felipao that won the World Cup. So
Chiche studied under Felipe Scolari, although while he is a proponent of strong defense, maybe a bit more adventurous than the former Palmeiras boss.
Absolutely, and with the national team, you can't be overly conservative or defensive. You have to give those players like Neymar and Coutinho, Firmino, you have to give them that space to express themselves in that uniquely brilliant Brazilian style. So he's intelligent enough to tweak his system and his philosophy to fit the team, and you can see his communication skills as well. I mean, he's become a beloved coach with the players. There's that press conference with Neymar in which he defended Neymar, and Neymar was so emotional he had to leave because of what he has to manage the emotions in the players as well as tweak his tactics. In the King Abdullah Sports City, that's what it's all about. Enjoying 90 minutes of two of the greatest teams in the history of world football.
Just coming into his own, somewhat lost in the shadow of the likes of Antoine Griezmann, but he has been vital for Atletico and could be rather useful for Argentina. Here's Scaloni.
Times that I've seen Atletico Madrid play this season, he's jumped out of the television for me. He's fantastic.
Smirski with the hard hit. Down goes Dybala. Felipe Luis pleading his innocence to no avail.
This is to be expected in the Brazil-Argentina match. We've seen Tagliafico take about 3 or 4 chops at Gabi Jesus. Neymar has gone down. Now Felipe Luis giving it to Dybala there. It's to be expected in the Brazil-Argentina. They didn't have that kind of animosity toward each other and those little cheap shots, those little physical moments. It just wouldn't be the same. See, but it's hard for Argentina right now to generate anything up the middle. I know people will say that's where Messi could do his damage, but going out wide with Dybala and Correa might be the best maneuvers.
The 18 charging in, Lo Celso might have brought it down with his arm, but also trying to draw contact. Felix Brich lets them play.
That came from a movement out wide. That's where Correa and Dybala, they're playing out wide, so that's where the strength is for Argentina in this attack. Is out wide. Natalia Paredes, more of just midfielders that can link up the attack, link the midfield or the defense with the attack. Chelsea will have that liberty to go forward more than Paredes and Batalla, but the strength of this Argentine attack is out wide with Dybala and Correa.
Here on the break, but it's just deflected. A lot of pressure, a lot of eyes on Nico Otamendi to see if he still has it. As you pointed out, maybe not that fleet of foot, but his brain obviously in hyperdrive.
Yeah, he's going to have to be very busy with that movement of Firmino. Of course, he has Batalla and Paredes kind of helping him out in front of him in the midfield.
Into the area, and no chance for Coutinho.
You see Neymar trying to pick out that long pass from Arthur, making the deep run through the middle, and that was open because Firmino had floated out wide. When Neymar drops that far back, especially down the left side, Firmino smart enough to recognize that there's space out wide on the left, and that opened up that middle for Arthur. So that's the value of Firmino right there. It's not something you could see in the stats, but when you watch the game and you see the spacing, the movement, you can see why he's critical.
Nice layout wide for Danilo, but now what? He retreats. They call the stadium the Shining Jewel, and as you can see, holding up very well. A bit longer than some of the traditional stadiums, about 120 yards long, a little narrower as well, only about 72 yards wide. Maybe a bit more encouragement to be direct towards goal. Then again, knowing what Brazil could probably do in a phone box, I don't think they need much space.
Yeah. I think that's actually part of the training for Brazilians.
Well, we've seen what they can do in an airport.
Oh, yeah, yeah. One of the best commercials ever. Keeping the ball off the ground for the airport. Argentine's not too bad either. They could control the ball in a phone box as well.
Maybe just not with the bossa nova.
Yeah. With the tango probably like that.
Final 8 minutes of this opening half. Regulation winding to a close. Coutinho goes wide. Uses Felipe Luis. Argentina building a barrier. And the pass off target looked like Firmino maybe just taking his eye off. Actually, it was Coutinho who saw the ball whistle past. Now Dybala. A gift. Looking for Tagliafico instead. It's right to Jesus. Now to Neymar. Tries to slot it across. Second effort. Parried away Otamendi.
Oh, Neymar. He's got to give it to Firmino sooner.
Drives it himself, but this one errant at a goal kick.
It's a great interception of the pass there by Gabi Jesus, and he gets it out wide to Neymar. Firmino is coming into the box. If he lays it for Firmino, Firmino can one-time the shot. He had some space, even take an extra touch, maneuver around an Argentine defender, and then have an even better chance at goal. But Neymar held the ball a little bit too long there. If he just one-times it, he gets that touch and just leaves it for Firmino, who's coming in unmarked, it could have been Brazil 1-0 against Argentina. I mean, don't want to question Neymar's decision-making because of his individual brilliance, but that was one time where he just took too many touches there. Got to lay it off of Firmino in that situation.
6 shots so far. Possession in favor of Brazil, about 60-40 right now. 8-6 in fouls, Argentina. And while there will be a large number of changes before this is over, maybe a few when the second half gets underway, the feeling we'll see even more offensive in the second half. Coutinho dodging the challenge, unable to thread that ball through as he would have liked. Here's Lo Celso.
They were trying to get it through the middle there because they know Gabi Jesus or Firmino, they have that ability to just, with their pace, to get in behind that Argentine defense, especially if you're talking about Petzela and Otamendi pretty quickly. But Natalia and Paredes right there in front of them to offer more bodies to filter that ball through. So it's a smart tactical decision there by Scaloni to put Paredes and Battaglia in front of Petzela and Otamendi. It's making it harder for for Brazil to build through the middle and break them down that way.
Neymar flips it to the center, rides the challenge, almost surfs his way into the box. Now Casemiro, but the strong challenge, Lo Celso out for the throw-in.
That's what Neymar can do. You see everybody in the crowd rising to their feet because of the brilliance there of Neymar, but at that last second, dispossessed there. Otamendi doing a great job in this match. He's played very well.
Little miss. Wide for Danilo. Now plying his trade at Manchester City. Archer. Quiet match for the Barcelona mid.
Yeah, definitely. Him and Felipe Coutinho not that involved. They're not seeing them help out in the attack as much. You want Neymar to get his touches, but you also want Arthur and Felipe Coutinho to get involved as well. Those two, Coutinho and Arthur at Barcelona. I mean, Arthur was the man to help Gremio win the Copa Libertadores last season. That certainly raised his profile in world football, and he's a talented player, but got to get him more involved. He's got to be a little more adventurous going forward, a little more aggressive going forward. Him and Coutinho. Casemiro is an excellent player in the back there defensively, so you can take risks going forward, put more men in attack because you have Casemiro back there to back him up.
Again, back to Alisson, who was almost stripped by Correa. This time Icardi could not get close enough. This is a rivalry that dates all the way back pre-FIFA, 1914. The very first meeting between these two. Argentina ended up winning it in Buenos Aires 3-0. Brazil, I guess, a bit of a late bloomer.
Yes.
But they've more than made up for lost time.
Sure have.
And in fact, in the total official meetings between these two, they actually have the edge now, 40-38, when it comes to wins, with 26th level. It's the 105th official meeting between the two.
I think that two-game edge for, is it Brazil that have the two-game that had to come from the qualifiers in for Russia 2018, which Brazil, especially after Tite took over, just dominant. It's one of the most impressive World Cup qualifying campaigns you will ever see, especially CONMEBOL.
The thing to consider is after those opening 3 or 4 matches, both of these teams were in total disarray.
Yeah.
And Argentina kept scrambling for answers. Brazil picked this man.
Yeah. And it wasn't easy to pry him away from Corinthians, but they managed to do it, and Corinthians obviously understood that. And ever since then, it was just rising football for Brazil.
Petzela for Otamendi. Penultimate minute of this opening half.
Someone just tweet Dybala better than Neymar. I don't know about that.
Don't talk to him about it.
Oh, okay, yeah. He said don't. He said if you disagree, we'll leave that one alone.
minutes back as the two teams looked all the world to be comfortable heading in at level terms at the break. Now, you'd figure Tite, more than Scaloni, might be tempted to leave some of his stars out a bit longer. He's actually going to be the man that has lessons to learn. As the interim boss, Scaloni may be a little more considerate towards not overextending some of these players and spreading the joy around. We'll have to wait and see. Both of them with lots of talent on the bench. Here comes Neymar looking for a goal just before the break. Poked free. Sliding in Italia. Chipping it in Coutinho. Now it's Pizzella doing his best. Otamendi. Again, looking at the bench, you have the likes of Gio Simeone. Neymar with the back heel flick. Coutinho trying to caress it in. Hint of a handball. Was it on the chalk? It looks like they're going to say on the line for the penalty area. And Felix Brick is pointing, but is it to the spot or towards goal? And it looks like he's going to say just outside the area.
Ooh,
inches away.
Yes, it was very close.
I think Scaloni's argument is bang, bang, too close to really get out of the way. Let's take another look.
Oh, there's another.
There's two handballs there, perhaps, from that angle. Does this first one hit arm? It does, but it's so close, and you can't say that was intentional.
Yeah.
Renzo Sarabia's back is turned.
Yep. Pizzella has his arm around his torso to make sure it's not a handball.
And if anything, Sarabia, as I said, his body turned away.
Right.
And the arm extended to get out of the way. It's not his fault that the ball ricochets in, but, well, makes for an interesting close. The placement maybe leaves a bit to be desired for Brazil. 25 yards out on an angle from dead center. And it's been a quiet half to this point for Sergio Romero, but it's getting noisier by the second.
Pizzella, definitely not a handball. Sarabia, I wouldn't have called a handball either, but.
Neymar. Romero leaning to his back post. Neymar curls it into the wall, headed down, cleared away. Whistle in hand from Felix Brick. It's still not sending them to the half. So a bit of a gift that Neymar could not unwrap.
This is going to be very interesting to see what happens in terms of the changes, not only to personnel, but to the tactics that both Lionel Scaloni and Chichi will make in the second half. I think Coutinho and Arthur, they have to be more aggressive going forward.